Good morning, my name's Paul Clevitz. I'm recording this video. This is an introduction to the SignalTrader Trading System, and there's a lot of stuff here to show you, but actually it's not that complicated to work out. If you're a new trader or you're a trader that's been trading for a long time, it's a great tool to add to your current system. There's two sides to it. There's the manual trading system if you want it, or there's the robot trading system, which is quite exciting. So I'm going to start off by looking at the MetaTrader 4. This is MetaTrader 4, and it's got the SignalTrader Trading System built into it, into the system. Now I'll show you some of the things here. This thing here, that's the currency meter. You'll see that it shows an average percentage of strength of one currency against another. Now, what that basically means is that when that percentage gets high on one currency and low on another, we know that there's going to be a reversal coming, and that's marked on the charts by a gold line below or above the price, which I should go and find for you, see if we can see some. I think that's some over there. Okay, so here's some here. Let's just scroll this chart. So just here, SignalTrader monitors that and looks for that kind of reversal signal. Okay, now what's happened here is, in fact, I think this was a robot trade, because SignalTrader has a robot, which I'll talk about a bit later. So that's your gold indicator. That indicates a reversal. When you start seeing that, SignalTrader's saying we're going to go back against it. So if you were in a short here, you probably closed the trade, and rightly so, because look, it's just gone straight back up again. Now it's just before the weekend, so you can see that it's kind of stopped there. So that's good. Right, so that's the currency meters. The currency meter helps us to see when a reversal in the market is likely to happen. It's very reliable. It works, okay? And so you've got the white lines, which shows a possible reversal is likely to happen, and the gold lines, which shows a reversal is definitely likely to happen. Over here, we've got trend information. You can see we've got a 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly trends, and that allows you to see at any time where, in comparison to the trade, whereabouts it's going. So for instance, look at this, we've got a bullish weekly trend, but everything's bearish, which means what? This is probably a bull flag, so it's basically going to carry on. It's going to go up, okay, and the pressure is on it to go up, so we'd look for this kind of signal to go up. Now in fact, okay, and so the next thing we're going to look at is some of the other information on the screen. Up here we've got a potential trade. SignalTrader is constantly calculating trades and risk and rewards, okay? It just constantly does it all day, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week when the markets are open. It looks at risk reward, it looks at ratios of risk reward and what's the potential risk reward. And here it says there's no trade at the moment, okay, because the trend's going against what it wants to do, so we'd hold out of that trade. So over here we've got other information, which is just general things like minimum risk 2.5 to 1, which means that we want a risk reward of 2.5 to 1 before we consider a trade. Buyers are winning, which means at the moment it's actually, though it looks short, actually technically it's a long. We're going to use the trend, registered trading account, obviously whose trading account it is. It shows you the spread for this currency pair, the bid and the ask price, and also if there's any congestion, which there was just before the weekend, but it's not displaying, it would show it here. So I'll come back to this trade because this is GBP/JPY, which I want to look at for the robot. But we're going to talk about the robot later because it's got a robot mode as well as being able to trade manually. So SignalTrader also looks for congestion trades. Here's one. So at the moment this is not a valid trade because the risk reward is too small. What you'd have to risk to get that reward. SignalTrader draws these target lines in automatically, so it works out the targets automatically. It works out what the risk reward is for this trade. What you're likely to need to do to get it. And in this case, it's saying no. If it says yes and says that is a valid trade, we've got a web interface that your MetaTrader will link to through one of my databases, and here it is. Here's the web interface for your SignalTrader users, and you can see there's loads of trades sitting there, possible trades. And it gives you some options, and so you can, if you're thinking about taking a trade on something, you can go and check it on here, see if it's a potential. There's also some other things. You can set lot sizes, and then there's robot mode, which I'll talk about a bit later. Also on the Right hand side you've got another copy of the currency meter, and also down here we've got all the news, and that's updated as it comes in pretty much. So it's all built into the same. So one screen kind of gives you everything you need to do your trading. Good. So, and also if there's a potential reversal, you'll see it here, listed it just here. Of course, there isn't at the moment because we're in the weekend. So that's the main SignalTrader system. Something else that I want to show you is the way that trading works for the SignalTrader system. Let's say, for instance, going back to sterling yen. Okay, let's go back to. Let's go to that. Okay, window. I'm going to talk about the order manager. Okay, now the order manager is an essential part of the SignalTrader system. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing, talking and typing. The order manager is an essential part of the SignalTrader system, and it's running on this chart here. Just flip there, flip back in there. You can see it down the bottom. Okay, so the order manager actually manages your trades for you. Okay, and it manages the trade before it's a trade and while it's a trade. Now let me explain that by bringing up GBP JPY, because this is a classic example. GBP JPY. Okay, activate. Right. Okay, so let's go back to our GBP JPY trade. Let's just say, for instance, we saw this, and we placed an entry order here. Okay, now, let's say we placed our entry order here. Now, what SignalTrader's order manager would do is move the entry order down to here, and it will follow this red line. And you might think, well, why isn't it letting you take the trade? Surely there's about 10 pips in there, because we don't aim for 10 pips. We aim for hundreds of pips. Okay, minimum 70 pip profit before I'm interested. SignalTrader monitors the power in that move, and it was going, basically it's saying, there's no power in that move. It looks like a powerful move, doesn't it? What is it? It's probably 20 pips. It looks like a powerful move. Let's have a look. It was actually 78 pips, okay? So, but by the time you'd have got the entry on, you'd have been down to, say, reality, 38 pips before it decided to change direction. So you probably wouldn't have got your order entry here, so it's 40 pips, and it changed direction. SignalTrader knew, because of the maths and the calculations it does, it knew that this trade is a fake. It's not a real powerful reversal. So your entry order would have been moved as it goes along. It's quite a unique thing. It moves the entry order, so it doesn't get you into trades you don't want to be in. We need a powerful move to break through our entry order and go on up. Okay. So that's how the order manager works. So if you're in a short, it would. So let's say let's swap it around. There might be a little bit of gold on there. Let's say, for instance, there was. I'll draw some in. Let's say there was a bit of gold on the top here, because it's easier to stay on this chart. And so we'd have had our entry order here. Okay, it would have followed this, it would have followed this, and SignalTrader would have said, there's power in that short. It would have broken my trade. It would have come back up, yes, but SignalTrader knows that it's going to do that. Okay, and then we'd look to take our trade off here. Okay, but actually, it would have already hit it, because it would have already hit the target. In fact, I wouldn't have taken this trade because it's too close to the target. Look at this white dotted line there. That's the target. So the white dotted lines are in fact the targets. There's other lines there. The yellow ones are the 4-hour likely movement over 4 hours, and the blue ones are either likely movement over 1 hour, or they're likely movement over. So there's a blue one there. Just you can't see it too clearly because I like blue charts. So there's a light blue line there. So over the so the blue ones are 1 hour unless there's congestion on the chart, and I'll show you what congestion looks like. This all sounds very complicated, but it really isn't once you get to know it. There's congestion. So this shows congestion, shows that the pair's not moving. So let's look at that bit there. That's the congestion. This is what we call the no trade zone, because we need the pair to move up through that, and that's actually where your entry order would end up here. Okay, and SignalTrader would, like I said, move your entry order around to make sure you don't get in too early. Okay, I am notorious for getting in too early. I often look at SignalTrader and go, why are you doing that? Why don't you get in? But once you get to trust it a little bit, you realise that it's far better to protect you. It's better not to trade than to trade the wrong thing. Just flipping through the charts here. You can see I've got it running on quite a few charts. So here's another gold trade here that SignalTrader has not taken. In fact, it would have just about entered there. Okay, so it's rallied up, it's entered there, and it's come back on itself. Now, sometimes, of course, with all systems, you lose trades. Okay, anyone who tells you they've got a system where you never lose trades is lying. Okay, anyone who tells you can make $50 million in 5 seconds is lying. You can't, unless you have a huge account. You need huge margin to make that sort of money. Okay, and most people starting to trade the forex markets don't have $50,000 to put in their account, do they? We know that. Hey, look at this. This is Aussie dollar. Look at there's the reversal signal there. Okay, SignalTrader would have had you in there. We'd have entered here because that's when it got the power to get in. Okay, and it went up to here. There's the gold signal for to close the trade. Again, look how close it is to the target. You could have actually stayed in the trade and held it on, and SignalTrader would have closed you out. So one of the things it does is moving stops. It manages your stops. So when you're in the trade, this green line, see if I'm in a long, that green line there that I'm drawing brown on, would have been the stops. Now what it doesn't do is, let's say we entered it, I don't know, it's a good place here. Let's say we entered the trade here. It came up to here and then bounced back down. The stop, SignalTrader would have moved the stop. I better put it here. Okay, forget that. Start again. So let's say we entered the trade here. I just want to show you how this works. Or even better, we put our entry order on down here. So SignalTrader moved our entry order around. We entered it here. Okay, and it moved up. And you see the way the stop has moved inside the profit. The stop would have stopped there. Okay, so it would have come down and given you a small profit. Because SignalTrader, once you're in profit and it's moved the stop up, will not won't let it go back out of profit, so it actually moves the stop up behind it. It's like a trailing stop, but not quite. Okay, because it will move the stop backwards if it has to make space for the trade to go. So you could have had this trade. How many pips would that be? Let's see. But again, it's all to do with whether we take the trade. So yeah, we wouldn't have taken this trade. The target's too small. Okay. So it might sound really frightening, but I like to aim for 70 to 100 pips. I do not bother trading. The big boys do not trade for less than 55 pips target. So we actually go one better. We go for 70. Now that brings me nicely to the robot. SignalTrader robot trading system robot looks for these reversal signals. Okay, and when it sees them, it then calculates the potential trade. So in here, you see, it wouldn't have taken that trade, and rightly so. The reason it wouldn't have taken that trade is the target's too close. So let's see, this is a test, so we just have a look at what I've got on. GBP CAD, so let's go look at GBP CAD. There's a SignalTrader Trading System robot order sitting on GBP CAD at the moment. It's currently sitting at, it's sitting just here. Okay, now you can't see it, but there was a little bit of gold down there, so SignalTrader stuck the order on. Sometimes the gold lasts such a short time that it doesn't stay on the chart, but that's okay. So anyway, SignalTrader stuck the gold order. Look at the way it's held the order in, and it's saying, yes, we're going to go for it. Look at the profit, 119 pips, so the next target is here, up the top. So that's SignalTrader's holding that as a gold order. Now, if it slowly moves up, and pushes my entry order up, and doesn't quite get there, the robot won't let the order be taken. However, what we're actually looking for is one of those big moves, so and then it will go like that, and it will probably bounce off the top of there. It's amazing how reliable these white target lines are. Look at this one. Look at that one there. Look at the way it just bounced off it. Just went straight down and bounced off the target line. Again, look at this. You see the support and resistance, how reliable it is. There, false break. That's a false break, isn't it? So, yep. You would have actually been in that. It would have come back. Whether it had stopped you out, I don't know. But that's a false break. You get those occasionally. And there's the entry. Down we go to the target. So that's what happens. So SignalTrader works everything out for you. So you don't really have to do a lot of working out. So you can use it in robot mode and normal mode. Look at this one here. Look at the way that bounces. Look at the gold saying we're going to reverse. Okay, look how fast it goes straight up. It actually There's the resistance and support there. Look, it bounced off it once there, bounced back down, and just didn't make it, and then came back up and broke back through the resistance and support, came back down, bounced off the support again. You can see how SignalTrader gets it right. Okay, and you can see what's going on in the markets. Without SignalTrader, you've got a bit of a hard job. I don't know, I don't draw lines on my charts really, apart from showing this sort of thing. There you go, you can see that. Look at the way it bounces off that support, bounce back down through their support, and look what's come back. What's that? Probably a messy head and shoulders, could be. Very slow head and shoulders. Here's a congestion trade, but SignalTrader's telling us not to take it. As everything's dynamic. All the resistance support lines are dynamically calculated. So here's another one. Look at the resistance and support on here. Look at the turnaround there. It's held. It's bounced off of there. It tried to break lower. It hasn't succeeded. It's tried twice to break lower, but everything's bearish. So it probably is actually going to go down to the next target. They're trying hard to do it, aren't they? That's just sterling, GBP sterling. But you see, if you had a long order on it, your long order would be moved around. It wouldn't allow you, in fact, it would have just about clipped your order in there. Okay, and in fact, that rally up, that was news. And of course, what do we do with news? We phase it. We don't trade the news, we trade after the news. So if this is a move on the news, that big rally up there, we would look for the reversal signal and trade it back down again. Okay, and actually, there's your entry there. So bounce back up again and then come on down. So the sort of pips we aim for, I like to get 100 pips a trade. Okay, I place fewer trades and get 100 pips a trade. You watch the robot, sometimes the robot won't find a trade for a day. But that's fine. Who cares? So look, there's the gold. There's a little tiny bit of gold just here. Look, you see that? Just a tiny bit. So it knows it hasn't got a lot of strength to get back down again. In fact, there's some gold there, so it's trying to come down. But obviously this is some kind of news report. This one actually did come down. It's a false break, comes up, off we go. But you see how accurately SignalTrader shows reversals with those white lines, which is a minor reversal, and the gold lines, which is a major reversal. Let's just flip to that. Okay, flip through a few more, see if I find a really good. So if the white lines and the gold is above, look at this one. Whoa. White lines and gold are above, it means they're thinking about bringing it down. They're thinking about bringing it down. They're thinking about bringing it down. Now, let's say I had an entry order here. I had a short entry order. SignalTrader would move it up with the currency pair. And then what would happen is here, it would turn around, break down there in 2 candles, come down to the target, which is down there. Okay. See, it did get close to the target. It didn't actually reach the target. So it came down here and just turned around and went back the other way. Okay, and would have stopped you out in profit, I should think. Yes, it would have stopped you out in profit because SignalTrader would have had your short stop move down anyway into profit. So, and again, it's news. So I don't like trading news. It's not reliable. It's not reliable enough. It's too difficult to trade, especially things like FOMC and the other one, non-farm payrolls. 2 things I don't trade. Look at this. Look, here again. You want to see a signal that we're going to stop going up? There's one. There's one. You see this big white line here? Says we've had enough. We're going to bring it back, boys. Okay, we're going to bring it back. Now, actually, it would have held. If you were in a long, you could have left the trade and it would have held you in the trade right the way up to here. And you'd have stopped out down here, but the chances are you'd have closed it because why? There's a target. In fact, you wouldn't have taken any of these trades because the targets are too small. Look, targets are too small. So the pair hasn't been moving enough. Aussie CAD hasn't been moving enough to make it worthwhile trading. And you might sit there and go, "Oh yeah, but look at that big rally." Yeah, but how do you know it's going to do that? We can only work on the past to predict the future with trading. But SignalTrader works on the near past rather than trying to draw lines from last month, because I think that's a fruitless and unentertaining game. Most of my traders, we try and aim for 200 pips a week with SignalTrader. I try and aim for 200 pips a week. There are some of my traders do way more than that. But you've got to manage your expectations. If you're a new trader, you probably want to run the robots for a while and watch the trades it does and learn from the robot, because sometimes I disagree with the robot and the robot's always right, which is quite tedious. I had a trader on Friday, just giving you an example. He said, "Oh, I've got 3 trades here. We've got the robots. I've got 3 robot trades," he thought, and 2 of them are lost and 1 of them's won. And when I looked at his account, I said, "Let me look at your account." So I looked at his account and I said, 2 of those trades are yours, and the one that actually won is the robot trade. And he's like, "Oh yes, sorry." So you know, so we're getting successful trades. It's a good system if you study it and you learn it and you work with the user group. We've got a user group as well. When you join, you can get part of the Skype group, and there's also a web-based forum, which we lovingly call STUG, SignalTrader Users Group. And so there's always somebody around, probably 24 hours a day, 5 days a week when the markets are open, and sometimes when they're not, to just help you out and get you set up. If you need help installing it, I'll actually log in, or one of us will log in and install the software on your system and set you up, so you can just make sure you're all ready to roll. There's a good broker account as well. We use FOREX as our broker. You'll find links on the website at iwannabeaforextrader.com. We've also got a presence in Second Life. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You can see it on, it's a virtual exhibition, trading exhibition. Again, www.iwantobeaforextrader.com. So that's all I'm going to say. If you do get in contact, if you'd like a live demo, we do live demos. We'd like a chat, and you can see just how effective SignalTrader is at trading the markets, the Forex markets. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and I'll be back with the other traders on Monday for another session. See how we go.